Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the Fast Point of View podcast with your host, Truck and Chubby, aka Clarence Hampton III. This ain't your coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the Fast Point of View and what we know. So let's go. So today, y'all, we're going to be talking about the Big 12 conference quarterbacks. And I'm going to give y'all my top 5. It may rattle some cages. I know some people are going to not agree with this. These are my top 5. Trucker Chubby's top 5 quarterbacks of the Big 12 is coming up, y'all. Buckle up. Let's get going down there. Are y'all ready? Now let's ride, y'all. Before we get started here, y'all, I want y'all to take a minute out real quick. Go ahead, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Hit that notification bell. Get all updates on videos when I'm dropping them. I am live every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and come and join me on the Saturday show. Live link always there for you to come in. You don't have to show your face. Voice will be there. Always welcoming. So come through 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Truck and Chubby live with some of the best topics around sports. Let's go. All right. First off, we got Shedeur Sanders. Of course, he's going to be the number 1 quarterback in the Big 12. To me, arguably the number 1 quarterback throughout college football next year. Shedeur Sanders, I love the way that his toughness was last year. I'm not picking Shedeur Sanders because he's Deion Sanders' son. I am picking Shedeur Sanders from what I seen Shedeur Sanders do last year, being the most sacked quarterback in the NCAA and coming back and getting back up after every play, playing with bruised ribs, playing with hurt hamstrings, getting banged up every single game. And he just kept getting back up and making throws and coming back in games and making throws. He is just so dang on good. For crying out loud, they got him on the board right now as the 6th quarterback eligible for the draft of 2024 as it stands right now. He's not even coming out this year. But to keep moving on, just the stats get so much better. Now, Shedeur Sanders this year in 2023, he had 298 completions. He had 430 attempts. He had a completion percentage of 70. 3,230 yards, 27 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and oh my goodness, the rating was passer rating of 151. Wow, amazing, right? Yeah, but his QBR was out of 64, 56 in the country. That's okay. He was the most sacked quarterback. And they take a lot, and sacks count as negative rushing yards. So those hurt him. He didn't blame his offensive line. Great leader, great guy. Kept going on and going. So he will be the number 1 quarterback for me in the Big 12 going into next season. Now, who's your number 2 quarterback? You might say, some might say, well, you go with the obvious guys. No. Or maybe I do. But I gotta go with Noah Fifta from Arizona University. Why are you going with a true freshman that was ranked 3 stars? Me, I'm going with him because he played so much similar to Shedeur. Shedeur and Noah do not get enough credit because they played in a Pac-12 that was absolutely stacked this year with a lot of defensive linemen that were NFL eligible, draft stock ready, and I'm telling you they will go in the draft. A lot of those Pac-12 defensive linemen, because the Pac-12 was very, very good. I mean, they did have a representative in the national championship this year, didn't they? From a powerhouse, and they played a powerhouse team in Michigan. So I want to congratulate both of those teams too, Michigan and Washington, for making it to the national championship. But back to Noah Fifta, right? He had 2,869 yards on the season, 25 touchdowns, only threw 6 interceptions. Oh my goodness. He completed 241 passes, 333 attempts. That is so good. Had a completion percentage of 73 on the season. Had a passer rating of 166. Oh my goodness. His quarterback rating was an 84. Listen, he is going to be a force to reckon with. He came in as a red shirt freshman, standing at 5'11", 194 pounds. Overlooked by a lot. Got up in there, developed, went into Arizona early, learned that playbook, worked hard, earned the starting position, and now he is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in college football and has a lot of eligibility left. So let's keep it moving. All right. Next quarterback, who do we got? Where we riding to? We going up to West Virginia real quick. We in West Virginia. I want to check out Garrett Green. Why didn't you go with the obvious choices? Right? Where's Josh Hoover at in this? Where's John Plumlee in this? Well, Garrett Green, he's returning, right? Garrett Green played in West Virginia. Most people think that he's not fast. I wonder why. Why? Is it because he's a white boy? You think he ain't fast? All right, don't sleep on Garrett Green. He will take off on you. Wills plays a lot stronger than what his stature is at 5'11", 202 pounds. You ain't got to be a 6'4", Cam Newton type body built to get the job done. And Garrett Green shows you that. Stereotypical people. He threw for 2,000. He threw 2,406 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He completed 147 of his passes out of 278 attempts, had a completion percentage of 53, and like I said, had a passer rating of 141. Not too bad, right? For somebody that's 5'11", when you behind all them 6'4", 6'6" guys. But he don't use that for no excuse. Garrett Green gets up, plays tough. He does the job, and that's why he's up there with me, because he didn't play behind an all-star offensive lineman. When he got smacked, he got back up and did the job. Also, he had a QBR rating of 76. So that's why Garrett Green is number 3 on my list as a Big 12 conference quarterback going to be returning for West Virginia. Y'all got one. Let's see what they do next year. All right, about to take another trip. Let's ride. Right now, we about to be parking all the way up here. We had to go a little bit up to Detroit, Michigan, because I want to check out this senior in Daquan Finn, standing at 6'2", 205 pounds. He had 201 completions and 317 attempts, had a completion percentage of 63, threw for 2,657 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, had a passer rating of 151, a QB rating of 67, which is 42nd in the country. Now, some may think like, oh, kind of a low QBR. Well, some things you got to work on. But why is he up there on that list, right? And everybody got things to work on. Well, to me, he can get the job done on his feet, and he can throw. Not only that, he brings a veteran presence to a Baylor team that needed a quarterback so badly. They needed a quarterback. They were a quarterback away from a lot of the games, and being in a lot of the games last year, Baylor. Some people may just say Baylor, but they were trash. They got dogged out a lot of games. Well, that may be true, but I did see some promising things from Baylor. And a lot of the promising things I've seen in Baylor is that Baylor play. I did see a lot of positive play in there. Seemed like there was a little disconnect with that quarterback. However, I think Daquan Finn comes in there. He sets the tone for Baylor, and I think Baylor being already was in the Big 12, they add a little bit more competition. But I really like what Daquan Finn bring in, and believe me, by the end of the season, I think a lot of people will agree that him being the number 4 quarterback on the Truck and Chubby Sports list in the Big 12, y'all will agree. So next, let's take a trip. Where we going? We're going to Texas, because everything is big in Texas. Everything big in Texas, including the next quarterback that I'm about to name, and Donovan Smith for the University of Houston Cougars. He had 256 completions, 397 attempts, had a completion percentage of 65. He threw for 2,801 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, had a passer rating of 135. A lot of those interceptions wasn't on him. Sometimes him and the receivers were not always connected. However, it goes on his stat sheet. He don't got a problem with taking that. He knows how that feels to throw those 13 interceptions. I think in his senior season, those goes down. His quarterback rating goes up because he's at a 63 quarterback rating, which is 58th in the country. Ain't too bad, right? You think it's not that easy. It's not that easy. But he learned from his mistakes. I believe Donovan Smith will be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12. Now, there was some guys that I left up out of here, such as Josh Hoover from TCU, such as John Plumlee from UCF. Some people say, okay, well, where's those guys at? Those guys are standing where they're at. We know what those guys are going to bring. I gave you my top 5 on Truck and Chubby Sports. If you like the list, you go ahead and you let me know what about the list down at the bottom in the comments. I appreciate it. But out of here, y'all. Peace out to the next vid.